Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin wa bihi nasta'in wa ala umuri dunya waddin. Salatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain amma ba'du. Okay, everybody, we will group 6 and we will present to you all about our presentation under title Revealing Risk and Internal Control Structure. Before going to our presentation, I will introduce our group. My name is Muhammad Khalifatul Syamsi as a moderator and presenter. Okay, in this opportunity, we have 5 material of our presentation. The first is internal control structure, the second, risk disclosure, the third, fraud and control related to computers, fourth, feasibility of control, and fifth, pressure to improve control.
Hello, my name is Fafia Aprilia Prinasty. I will explain about internal control. So, internal control is a process applied to provide reasonable assurance that control objectives are achieved. Internal control is essential in an organization because it serves 3 critical functions. First, preventive controls, second, detective controls, and the last one is corrective controls. Jadi pengendalian internal ini mempunyai 3 fungsi penting, yaitu pengendalian preventif, kemudian pengendalian detektif, dan yang ketiga ada pengendalian korektif. This slide explains about 3 critical functions of internal control. First, preventive controls serve the function of preventing issues before they occur. Second, detective controls serve the function of identifying issues that cannot be prevented by preventive controls. Third, corrective controls are used to identify and rectify issues that occur. Jadi, pengendalian preventif ini berfungsi untuk mencegah masalah sebelum terjadi. Kemudian, pengendalian detektif ini berfungsi untuk mengidentifikasi permasalahan yang tidak dapat dicegah dengan pengendalian preventif. Kemudian, pengendalian korektif ini digunakan untuk mengidentifikasi dan memperbaiki masalah yang terjadi. The next slide explains about internal control structure. An internal control structure or system is an amalgamation of the policies and procedures that a small business implements to ensure that each of its goals is achieved. It ensures that each employee follows directives implemented by the senior management team. It also ensures that every financial statement is accurate. In addition, an internal control structure ensures that the organization remains compliant with any laws or other legal regulations that police the industry. Jadi, struktur atau sistem pengendalian internal adalah penggabungan kebijakan dan prosedur yang diterapkan oleh usaha kecil untuk memastikan bahwa setiap tujuannya tercapai. Ini memastikan bahwa setiap karyawan mengikuti arahan yang diterapkan oleh tim manajemen senior. Ini juga memastikan bahwa setiap laporan keuangan akurat. Kemudian selain itu, struktur pengendalian internal memastikan bahwa organisasi tetap mematuhi undang-undang atau peraturan hukum lainnya yang mengatur industri. The next slide explains about the Committee of Sponsoring Organizations of the Third Way Commission recognized 5 essential components to the system. First, control environment. The control environment, also called the internal control environment, refers to value that the senior management team of a small business attaches to the importance of the audit and risk management function to the firm. In addition, this component addresses the methods and style in which internal control initiatives are implemented. Some organizations, for example, maintain an incredibly lax control environment in which few policies are put into practice and employees are given free rein. This is often the case in unregulated industries. In heavily regulated industries, such as financial services. The control environment is often incredibly formal. Various departments, including legal, compliance, and human resources, enforce many guidelines to minimize legal and financial risk to the firm. Second, risk assessment. The component of risk assessment is the actions taken by a small business to determine any situations that may pose legal or financial risk to the firm. For example, a team of legal professionals may audit a business employment records to ensure that all files are compliant with the policies of the United States Equal Employment Opportunities Commission. Likewise, an accountant may audit the financial records of the business to ensure that all accounting practices are sound. Third, control activities. The control activities component describes every policy, procedure, and best practice a small business puts into place to minimize risk. For example, the firm's senior management may mandate that an external accountant review the organization's books on an annual basis to ensure that the internal accounting team is performing effectively. Likewise, a business may create a policy stating that all outgoing correspondence must be reviewed by the legal department before delivery. Fourth, information and communication. Information and communication are the methods used to train the employee population of the control activities. A small business may implement this component in a variety of ways. Some control activities may be spelled out in an employee handbook. Alternatively, the Human Resources Department may deliver classroom training to the workers, educating them on all risk management policies. Fifth, monitoring. The monitoring component of the internal control structure describes a small business practices of self-auditing its risk management system, ensuring that all employees are compliant with the internal policies. This may be carried out through a few ways. An internal compliance department may be created specifically to audit the organization. Alternatively, the company may engage the services of an external auditing firm, such as KPMG or Deloitte, to provide an independent assessment of the organization's internal control success. For the next slide, we'll be presenting by Arisa.
The next material is risk disclosure. Risk disclosure is a form of disclosure made by a company to provide information regarding the risk experienced in carrying out the company business activities in an accounting reporting period. Company must provide information regarding risk and disclose it clearly and accurately. Risk disclosure can be said to be good if users feel they are giving complete, clear, and accurate information. The next slide. Financial risk disclosure is an important item in company financial reporting because it contains information about how company management manage risk and how it impacts the company's revenue. Through risk disclosure in the annual report, company becomes more transparent in presenting information to all stakeholders. The next slide. 3 disclosure concepts. First, accurate, 2, fair, and 3, full.
Hello, my name is Raka Abdan Sarifki. I will explain about fraud in computer system. Fraud in computer-based accounting information system can be referred to as computer fraud or a computer abuse, or what is usually called computer fraud, which is deliberate or premeditated plan by someone using a computer to gain an advantage for themselves by lying, cunning, cheating, or the unnatural things. Fraud within a company can be committed by someone other than the official responsible for the security of the company's asset, or it could be called external fraud, and by someone from the company itself who is entrusted with maintaining the security of the company asset, or it could be called internal fraud. Okay, next I will explain types of computer fraud. According to Nash and Roberts, there are three main forms of fraud in computer system, namely, first, exploitation of inconsistent discoveries of control loopholes. Means this fraud is usually caused by weakness in the internal controls of a system that are discovered accidentally by the perpetrator. For example, entering the wrong password into a computer terminal. And second, work of prankster. Means this fraud usually occurs at school and universities that offer computer course. Student access or modify data files or interface with institutional computer system, not for financial purpose but only for personal satisfaction and to make themselves proud. Third, intentional crime. Means this form of fraud is the most common and includes unauthorized action carried out intentional by people outside the organization, company's employees, or management itself. Usually, the main motivation is financial gain. Okay, next, fraud in computer system is usually carried out in various ways, including manipulate input, changing program, changing files, stealing data, and sabotage. Okay, next, preventing, discovering, and limiting computer fraud. In preventing computer fraud, there are three alternative actions that can be followed by the company internal auditor, which include, first, internal auditor are actively involved in design computer system. This alternative is best because the auditor can insert automatic control in the computer program to prevent someone from changing the program or data. Second, internal auditor involve themselves after the computer program has been created. This alternative is not as good as the first alternative, but auditor can play an important role by reviews computer program to identify and assess control that have been created, try to find potential weakness, recommend additional control to address this critical weakness. And last, internal auditors are not active except after the computer system is operational. This alternative the worst of the other two alternatives because it is not easy for the auditor to has a significant impact on the control of computer programs and operating procedure. Okay, next, according to Parobi and Barat, there are three control procedure. The line of defense against computer fraud is, first, prevention, which limits potential perpetrator access to computer facility, computer terminals, data file, program, and reports. Second, detection to find fraud in incident where the perpetrator escape exciting prevention mechanism. And third, limitation to limit loss in the event of well-planned and execute fraud. And the next, these three lines of the defense can be enhanced with three types of control procedure, namely, first, administrative control is an internal control policy that determines operating procedure for computer installation. Second, physical control means managing the physical environment of computer facility as well as the physical input and output of the computer. Third, technical control means implementing the processing facility themselves to limit user access to data, files, and program.
The next material is feasibility of control. Feasibility of control in internal control is a concept that refers to the extent to which internal control is effective at achieving organizational goals. The next slide. The feasibility of internal control can be asked based on several factors, including first, effectiveness, the extent to which internal control can prevent, detect, or overcome risks that exist in business process. Effective control help protect company assets and ensure compliance with policies and procedures. Second, efficiency. Internal control must be implemented efficiently. This means that the cost and procedure used to implement this control are proportional to the business profile. And the next, relevant. Internal control must be relevant to the objective and risk faced by the organization. They must be adapted to business environment and the change that occurred. The next is understanding. Employees and management need to understand internal control and follow procedure correct. This understanding includes training and effective communication. The next is measurement and reporting. Organization must be able to measure the effectiveness of internal control and report the result to interest parties, including shareholder and regulator. The next is legal compliance. Internal control must also ensure compliance with the applicable regulation and law in the company, industry, and operating area.
Okay everyone, next I will tell to you all about the pressure to improvise control. We must to implement good internal control. Good internal control can ensure the accuracy and reliability of data in the accounting information system and implement an appropriate internal control structure, ensuring that the procedures and process the company use to protect company asset, manage information accurately, and ensure compliance with applicable laws and regulation. Next, conduct an information system audit. Information system audit can help identify weakness in accounting information system and provide recommendation for improvement. Next, implement a computerized internal control system. Computerized internal control system can be designed so that many internal verification procedures are automated as part of the system, and implement controls for prevention and inspection. Control for prevention and inspection can help ensure accuracy and reliability of data in the accounting information system. Internal control will run optimally if some of these conditions are met. The first, clear separation of function in the organization. The organization structure must communicate a clear separation of function from each other so as not allow to overlap. The second, delegation of authority and adequate recording procedures. A clear delegation of authority for each activity will eliminate unnecessary conditions. And third, healthy practice in the implementation of duties and function. System and procedures that have been established and used as guidelines must be implemented as well as possible with full discipline by each employee. And last, the degree of quality of employees who are suitable for their responsibilities. The quality of employees is not only limited to the formal and informal education of employees, but also includes mental attitudes, behavioral attitudes, attitudes of independence, and attitudes toward the function of their positions, strong principle, interactive and cooperative attitudes in the right portion. Okay, everyone. In the end of our presentation, I will tell to you all the conclusions. Internal control is a process applied to provide reasonable assurance that control objectives are achieved. Three critical functions. They are preventive control, detective control, and corrective control. An internal control structure. Our system is an amalgamation of the policies and procedures that a small business implement to ensure that each of its goal is achieved. Risk disclosure can be said to be good if users feel they are given complete, clear and accurate information. Fraud in computer system including manipulate input, changing program, changing file, stealing data, and sabotage. Feasibility of control in internal control is a concept that refers to the extent to which internal control is effective in achieving organization goals. To improvise control can be done by implementing good internal control and appropriate control structure, conducting information system audit, implementing computerized internal control system, and implementing control for prevention and infection. Okay, maybe that's all from our group, and thank you very much for your attention. Good luck in our life, and the last I say to you, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.